pulled beef goes on that one. Our Kansas barbecue, bacon and green onions. Woo.
What's up, it's Luis from America's Best Restaurants, and we travel the country coast to coast to find the places where you need to eat at on a weekly basis. And today we are in Whitehall, Michigan at an incredible restaurant called Bone-Ins. We're gonna get to talk to Rusty, who's the owner, plus we're gonna see some incredible mouth-watering items like their life-changing French dip. Plus we're gonna see some other items that are gonna make your mouth water. Trust me, you're gonna wanna stick and watch the rest of this episode. And I know you're hungry because you're watching this. So once you come with me, let's go check it out. All right, everybody. So now we are inside an incredible restaurant called Bone-Ins. And before we move forward, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Let me know which one of these dishes you're gonna get when you come to Bone-Ins. And we are here with the one and only Rusty. Rusty's the owner. Rusty, we really appreciate you having us here. This is a big treat for me, man. This is awesome.
We appreciate it.
It's awesome. Now, I know you're like a mad scientist in the kitchen, and one of the things you make is this. Tell me what this is.
That's our version of our Cuban. So, you know, Who doesn't love a good Cuban sandwich, right? As everything we do here, we had to put a little kick to it, a little spin. So, you know, our pulled pork, like I told you before, live and die by the pork here, right?
That's phenomenal, man. Oh my God.
A little bit of Dijon in there so you get a little bit more of a bite than just a regular mustard. And I'm kind of a pickle snob. So those pickles are like those true Clausens, you know, they're never been in heat, they're nice and crispy. Yeah, I'm a huge pickle snob.
This is awesome, dude. I was not expecting to find a Cuban sandwich here.
Little old Michigan Cubans, right?
It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. It's special for me to see that you have that type of creativity, because even talking to you off camera, you like to mix all these crazy flavors. Yes. We had crazy conversations like, what are the craziest tacos you've had or that you've made? And if you want to find those out, you got to make sure you look at the lives. But I just love the way your mind works, and that you're not afraid to try different things.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me ask you this. How did you get that bug of like, I want to be a chef? Because you're not originally from the restaurant industry, correct?
No,
what did you do before?
I actually was a firefighter EMT for 15 years.
Wow. So instead of saying, hey, I want to jumpstart people, right? Right? What was it in the restaurant industry that you just say, you know what, this is what I want to do now?
Well, you know, truth was, my wife and I, you know, first starting out married, never saw each other until late at night when we both got home, watching Food Network, watching Iron Chef America, and I love the idea of just watching people cooking, like in like a learning development. So I think I looked at her one day and I'm like, I want to go to culinary school. And I think she almost slapped me. I'm like, the look on her face was like, wait, what? Culinary school? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go to culinary school. So after convincing her for probably 2-3 months of saying, I want to do this, and you know, trying to hide the bruises from being beaten from that, yeah, went to culinary school and wanted just to take my passion for food and learn a little bit more of the technical stuff.
Okay. Now, did you have an influence growing up that kind of always had that whole, I want to cook in the back of your mind?
Yes.
Who was that?
My grandparents, really. Okay. My grandpa was a Mennonite farmer, married a little Catholic lady, had 8 kids, so German family, German, you know, roots and background. So grew up home style, you know, full meals. A lot of times it was like, hey, go out to the garden, get us some tomatoes, a couple of potatoes, you know, zucchini, whatever, and then watching my grandma make it, you know, right there from scratch, like watching it being picked and washed, and just seeing the difference in the foods. And, you know, having 8 kids, they couldn't afford to go out to eat. So like, even when we went out to like a little Bird King or whatever, that was like a birthday thing. Like, you know, you just couldn't afford it. And so my wife and I, when we started off, like most families, we didn't start off with a whole lot of anything. We had put a garden together. We had, the first year we had 56 tomato plants because we didn't realize how many seeds would grow at one time. So, you know, we started doing our own thing, canning stuff, making stuff fresh, and that influence. I didn't realize it then, how much it really influenced me until I look back at it now, and it just, I to this day still think like, my grandparents, my grandpa was, my mom was a single mom, so my grandpa basically raised me and helped her out while she could work and everything, and I just really appreciate those home values that I got from them.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool because one of my favorite things of your restaurant, like I looked at all the decorations, I pointed out all these things, but my favorite thing by far is that you have to the left of me, you can't see it in the frame, but with the magic of editing, we'll put it on there. To the left of me, you have a photo of you and your grandpa. I'm like, and I remember when we were back there, and I said, okay, so who is that? He said, oh, that's my grandpa. I'm like, is that you too? It's like, yeah. And I think that's cool because it's kind of like your grandfather's watching over you, but also he's part of the soul of the restaurant. And I think that's awesome. That's just Absolutely. Really, really cool, man.
And truth be told, so I was a Sesame Street kid when I was a little kid. Don't tell nobody. Shh. But I couldn't say his name. His name was Robert, and I couldn't say grandpa. I called him Beepa.
Okay.
Because there's this guy in there that has a little nose thing, and it beep, beep. And I walked up to him, I'm like, Beepa. And it stuck even when he passed on, at his ceremony and everything. His name was Beepa.
That's cool.
It was just one of those connections that, I was very fortunate to have. So
that's awesome, man. I love it. I think that's phenomenal. And people need that as part of their origin story. And that's why we do this with America's Best Restaurants. I want to get a little peek behind the curtain of who are you? Where does their inspiration come from? Because that defines who you're going to be in the future. And like you said, I didn't realize until later on in life that all these influences I had from my grandparents. And that's phenomenal, man. I love it. Moving on, talk to me about this, because there was a little bit of a controversy, but tell me what this is.
It's a Ricki Bobby burrito, aka not from the movie Ricky Bobby, in case Sony's watching. So that's our take on a pulled pork burrito, something that honestly I was watching some different Food Network shows. I watched a lot of Triple D, and they were talking about this really unique Tex-Mex burrito that they did with pulled pork. And I'm like, I can do something like that. So we just kind of came up with our spin on it. It's our pulled pork with our really popular Mexican barbecue sauce we do, elote slaw, and guacamole.
Pork, super juicy. That Mexican barbecue,
yes.
I might steal that whole jar, the whole bottle.
That's good stuff. I love that Mexican barbecue. It's like my favorite sauce to put on anything.
It's just, I don't know what you put in it. You don't have to tell me the secret, but it coats your mouth and it's got a little bit of spice, so you can taste it. It's like, hey, I'm here, but it's not like, oh my God, it's overpowering. It's so.
I got to tell you, my wife's gonna appreciate this, but our secret ingredient, SpongeBob.
That's funny.
My kids will appreciate that. They make me watch SpongeBob at this point now. I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's phenomenal. I love that sauce. I want to put that sauce on everything.
I'm telling you, it's good on everything.
And you have, because you and I had this conversation off camera, how many sauces do you have? About ballpark?
About ballpark total, we run with about 44 every day. And of course, every feature gets its own sauce.
And I had the opportunity to try a few. Dude, unbelievable. And some that I've never had before. Unbelievable. Like, I like that apricot habanero that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yes.
So good. So I'm sure that when you come here, you will find sauces that you've never, ever seen before.
And we're not stingy with the sauce here. You want fries? We'll give you sauce. We're not going to charge you like 15 cents a cup. We give out sauces. That's the fun part of it. Like, as a kid, like a son, get the chicken nuggets. You got to get all the sauces, right? That's the best part of it.
Okay, so Rusty, when you went to culinary school, I'm sure that you had some practice at home, cooking and everything, but what was one thing that you're thinking in your head, yeah, I got this down? And then when you went to culinary school, yeah, I guess I didn't have this down as well as I thought.
Truthfully, it was the basics, like learning how to do everything properly from scratch on up, like making a French fry, for instance, starting it, blanching it and doing it all the way up. And then, of course, number one, always seasoning. Season everything. Don't just season at the end and whatever. Bring some flavors in it. And that's one thing we do, as I've shown you before. We have a ton of seasonings in the back, and I make my own rub mixtures. I mean, I probably have 20 different mixtures of seasonings that I like to put together. So that's my big take that I've brought back from culinary school, is just bring the flavor in everything we do.
Now, We had a conversation too that you're a big proponent of cleaning,
Yes.
but there's a reason behind it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the clean eating thing came quite a few years ago, right after my third son was born. My wife was diagnosed with a stomach tumor, and the tumor, the procedure was supposed to be pretty easy to remove it. And what ended up happening is they had to reroute her whole stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing that, she can't have glutens. She can't have any foods that have steroids and stuff in it because it'd make her sick.
Right.
You know, and so we started figuring, like, I told her, I said, I went to culinary school. I got some medical training, nutritional stuff. I can figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she was getting miserable. She lost a ton of weight right off the bat. So, you know, when we started the food truck, originally I told her, like, the whole thing is, I want her to be able to eat anything I can make and be happy with it and not make her miserable. And so that's like everything we do, every ingredient I get, I'm very picky about everything. We get the best potatoes, we get the best, you know, breads, the best pickles, you name it. And I know I've made my vendor, you know, I give him a lot of work because I'm like, oh yeah, and I'll try this and I'll try that, and you know, but that's the big thing about it was just help her, make her feel better with everything.
I love that, man. I love that. And shout out to Jamie.
Yes.
It's your wife. Shout out to her. So that, I love that, man, because now there's a reason, there's a why behind it, and that matters. That absolutely matters. And I appreciate you sharing that story because it's awesome.
She might tell you I'm her rock, but honestly, she's mine. She quit her medical job to come here as a server, and then when COVID hit, you know, and everybody started feeling the effects of employment and everything else, she learned how to cook. And I'm telling you, this is a girl that used to burn water when making mac and cheese. I love you, dear, but you did. She's one of my best line cooks, hands down, and she loves it. She was a server, you know, up front. She's always been, you know, able to talk to the people, but she's finding her knack, and now she cooks dinners, and I don't have to be like, yeah, dear, it's great. You know, it's honestly, and the kids loving it. You know, our kids at home love either one of us, you know, cooking for them. So
I love it. Now, originally you started with the food truck. You showed it to me. The food truck is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's super,
That's
super
our baby,
cool.
yes.
And that was back in what, 2014?
2014. Yep.
Now, when you first came to the scene, because I know this area is not really known for this little bit of a different cuisine, because this is pretty out there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In relation to the area. So when you first came onto the scene, how was the reception?
Of course, you know, everybody thought everything we did was hot. Oh yeah, we don't like spicy. We don't like spicy. And then I get you know, barbecue and Mexican together, they didn't understand it. They just didn't get it. So it took a while. And, you know, we always tell everybody our safety net's our pulled hog sandwich. That's like the safe item. You get it, you try it, you like it, come back. And also we get people like, oh my God, that pulled hog was so great. Now what do you want us to try? And they'll ask, what do you suggest next? They don't even want to look at the menu. What do you suggest next? I love that, you know, because that means that they're willing. I sold them, you know what I mean? Like they're all in now, and we get some of our favorite customers that they're only in here 5 days a week, and all they eat is our feature or something new every single time. Right. That's my favorite thing.
And your feature every week you
do something.
You go create something totally different because you're a chef. That's what you do, and you have to create new stuff. Because I mean, the way that you kill a chef is by making them cook the same thing all the time, right? Because this gets boring. You want to create.
Absolutely.
It's your creative outlet. So I've seen some of the crazy things that you put on, and I was even reading some to our team as we were driving here today. And one of our other hosts, Greg, he said, "Oh my God, that sounds unbelievable. I want to meet this guy." So I think that's great that you get to create new things, and you've even had some things that you've created that are so popular that you end up putting them on the menu,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely. I mean, on this table, 3 of the items on here were features at one point.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And their mainstays. Mack Daddy was one of them.
Okay, Mack Daddy, talk to me about this.
So our fries, our hand cut everyday fries, we top it off with our Texas mac and cheese. So it's a Texas style mac and cheese with bacon cooked into it. And then our pulled beef goes on that one, our Kansas barbecue, bacon and green onions. Woo! It's snack food right now. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's that late night, I need something, that's that food right there.
Oh man, that's so good. That's so good. I'm gonna tell you this. If the zombie apocalypse happens, eat this, bring you back to life. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that.
I love this combination. It's so good. Oh my God, so good. And you said, is this one also
Ricki
featured?
Bobby was one also, yes.
Ricki Bobby, shout out to Sony on that one.
So honestly, I did that one on our food truck when we were parked at the brewery, like I was telling you. And one of my customers, he was was my biology teacher when I was a kid, and he's a soccer coach. So I've gotten to know him because I coach football here in Whitehall. And I put it on the menu just for a weekend. And he threatened me, he goes, if you ever remove that off the menu, you and I are going to go round and round. And it's to the point where he's still, hey, I want my burrito. All right, so we had to keep it on the menu, obviously.
Is this the same gentleman that you and I were talking off camera that happens like 5 days a week or no?
No, this is a different guy.
Different guy. Okay. Because you have people that religiously come here.
Oh yeah. And you know, to the point where I feel like it's cheers, you know, walking door, hey John, hey Norm. You know, we don't have no norms, but we'll work on that.
There you go, work on it. Now, this last one, we had a conversation about this too, off camera. So talk to me, what do we have here?
This is honestly our most popular dish we have right now. Our French dip, our Tex-Mex French dip.
Tex-Mex
started off as a feature. So we had pulled beef on the menu for a while, and it was one of those, it's good, but it was just missing something.
Ooh.
So I was playing around the seasonings. I'm like, man, I made this beef taste better, and I think I could come up with some cool ideas. And I was making myself a French dip taco because I was trying to cut out the carb a little bit. And it was like one of those dishes I really liked a lot. I entered in our local Taste Mesquite competition, did really well with it. So I'm like, let's do it as a sandwich. So our au jus is more of a beef consomme. It kind of has the love of Burrito without the peppers in it. So we got that same love in it. And of course, so that one gets our very famous, by the way, caramelized garlic aioli.
That's fire. I had it earlier. Oh my God.
And
that's what I was tasting, because I was literally just gonna ask you, hold on, you put a little garlic in it?
Yeah.
It's prominent, but it's beautiful.
And then pepper jack, melted pepper jack for a little bit of spice in there. And then of course, caramelized or crispy onion straws, just to give it a little crunch, because I like texture.
Rusty, this French dip is literally changing my life, especially with that garlic in it and this au jus or the consomme.
Yes.
Let me get that correct. It's phenomenal.
And my favorite part, when the customer's done with the sandwich, watch them and drink the rest of the au jus. I'm like, yeah. I have servers, some of the young servers are like, oh, they just drank the au jus. I'm like, have you tried it yet? Because it's good.
It's so good. What made you want to make it like this? Because this is your unique preparation.
I mean, I love French dips. I mean, who doesn't? And I wanted to up our sales on our beef. Like I said, all of a sudden I came up with a new spice rub, a new way to make the beef, and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, I got to get this beef out there. I want more people to do it. So I'm like, let's do it in the French dip. Like, it just, and then I don't want to be normal, you know, because I'm not normal, I guess, you know, whatever. Mom must drop me in the head or something. Love you, Mom, but I'm sure you did something, you know, whatever.
Well, I just love, you know, the whole thing. The bread is perfect. Because that's the one thing of it. If you're gonna make a sandwich, if you don't have the right bread, you're gonna mess it up. I don't care where you put it in, right?
Yes.
But the bread's phenomenal. Beef's phenomenal. I love this consomme, it's unbelievable. And then just that little extra with that garlic, that garlic sauce, it's game over. This humongous winner, man. I've just been super impressed with everything. I kind of sort of knew a little bit of what I was gonna get, but I love the creativity you have, and you're putting your own spin on it, which is super, super welcome. And I haven't had food like this before.
I appreciate
Of course, I've had barbecue, but not like this. This is always gonna stick in my memory. I'm like, man, that place is unbelievable.
That means the world to me.
Dude,
that's what it's all about.
I'm a foodie, I travel everywhere, man. This is unbelievable, unbelievable. Look, everybody, if you're looking for more restaurants like Boneheads, which you should, make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment, share. Look, let me know below which one of these you're going to have, because let me tell you, when you come here to Boneheads, there's nothing, you can't find anything bad here. This place is absolutely unbelievable. I'll tell you right now, hands down, blindfolded. Hands tied behind your back, 1000% certified legit. I love this restaurant. I just love that it's not just a regular barbecue restaurant, it's got that spin.
Yes.
And you have different things that you're providing, plus the fact that you have those features. Like on a weekly basis, you create all these crazy different things that are just, they're amazing and they work. And we even were talking about one off camera. Can't tell you that because that's coming out. But
got some ideas.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Rusty, how can people find out more information about your restaurant?
You know, obviously, come check us out. We're on Facebook, Bone Ends on Facebook. We have a website, easyboneends.com. Email us, call us, however you want. I'm here.
Love it. And
Small
you also
town.
do catering too.
Absolutely, you do a lot of catering.
Boom. They got the food truck and everything. Cater, weddings, birthdays,
Yes.
whatever you need. Love it. Look, you can also find a full listing for them on americasbestrestaurants.com. French dip, bone-in style. That's it for me. That's it for us. We're going to see you guys on the next one.